Apex has been going through a lot of changes this week. They have told traders that they are going to go live and that they're going to be in this holding period where they can't buy any more evals. And some traders have been kind of freaking out. I've been covering it on the channel, but just yesterday they sent out a new email to affiliates, and also they're going to be sending it out to all traders that are in this like live funding process, all these new details. So I'm going to be breaking it down in this email right here. I can tell you off the bat that this is actually a good email with some good news. I like everything that I read, so I'm going to be breaking it all down. But before I get started, make sure that you guys subscribe, because remember, I will be doing a giveaway here soon for trade day. I'm partnering with them and we're going to be giving away some accounts. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification so you don't miss out on that video when it drops. And let's get right into this one. Like I said in the intro, it says right here that this message below is going to be sent to traders that are in the evaluation limitations to help them understand the process and answer what is expected. It starts out with why some users may not be able to add more evals. There are several reasons why a user may not be able to add more simulated evaluation tests with Apex Trader funding. While there is no single formula or fixed set metrics, each case is reviewed individually and thoroughly as possible. So I guess that's good. They're going to be going by case basis to see who can actually go live and who's going to be in this eval limitation and who's not. As you all know, there's been a big shift in the industry, with just about every firm now creating paths to live funding. And that's true. Pretty much every prop firm has a path to live funding at this point. The big difference between Apex and basically all the other prop firms is that it's pretty well outlined what you have to do to get to live funding, whereas Apex Path so far has not been outlined as to how you actually go live. So not only should this be the eventual goal for any trader who signs up for a prop firm, but it's necessary for the health and longevity of any firm. Only so much can be paid out on sim accounts before it impacts the sustainability or forces the prop firm to introduce new rules, restructuring programs, or tighten payout policies, as we've seen many firms do recently. All facts. Like, I've been saying this for a long time that, it doesn't matter what prop firm, but using Apex, eventually you got to take people live, because you can't keep paying people out of your own pocket when the market can easily pay them. Apex has offered live funding since 2022, which is crazy because, again, you don't hear about it, but I mean, they're saying that they have. Traders have been moved out of sim and into live accounts in the past, but not many. So they are admitting that not many of their traders get moved to live. And I would probably, if I had to guess, say like 1% of their traders are probably live at this point, maybe even less. So why or why not? Some traders chose to be paid out of their balances instead of transitioning to live if they qualified for a full payment. And I guess that makes sense, right? Like, after you've reached the amount of days where you can take everything, you can just take everything, buy some new eval accounts, close that PA account, get re PA account, right? Or get new PA accounts, and then just do the same process over again. Never go live, never have to pay the live fee, stay sim forever, and be able to basically keep all that money without having to go live. They weighed the options and opted to take the payout to fund their own personal live trading accounts rather than be moved to a live prop account. So what could be happening there too is that they take all their money, they go personal, and then Apex pretty much says you can't come back, which, I mean, okay, that's cool. To be candid, even though we had the option, moving to live was not a major focus at Apex. And yeah, we know that. As the company grew and grew fast, our focus was staffing up, managing growth, and managing payout process and support. Building an entire separate department to manage, monitor, and support live prop accounts through compliance and paperwork was a big task and not something we were equipped to do consistently. That is now changing. As the prop industry has evolved, payout programs have become easier, faster, and more accessible. Evaluation requirements have shortened from 14 to just 1 day in some cases. In the past, it takes up to 25 trading days to receive a first payout, and now some programs offer payouts in as little as 1 to 8 days, which, yeah, I mean, I was here when prop firms took, 7 to 14 days, and it took, a month to get payouts. And I think Take Profit was kind of the first one to revolutionize the first day payouts. And then quickly after that, you saw Top Step start doing it, where payout times were reduced. And then next, Apex started doing it. So yeah, I just think that's the standard now, and you got to keep up with the times. So it's a completely different landscape. and prop firms must adapt accordingly. Additionally, growing compliance and regulatory standards establish a true path to live trading is becoming essential for every firm. Sim funded accounts are exactly that, they're simulated. They are not backed by live capital, and payouts on these accounts do not come from real profits. At some point, a firm must shift to funding traders with live capital. There is only so much a firm can sustainably pay from simulated accounts while keeping the program attractive and accessible. The purpose of an eval and PA process is to identify traders who have developed discipline and consistency and who can grow and protect an account. For some, that journey may require many accounts. For others, it may only take one to show they can manage, build, and protect capital. Some traders may not move out of a simulated environment until they spent months in the program, cycle through hundreds of accounts, and taken many payouts. Others may manage a single account over a short period, show strong risk management and minimal volatility, and be ready for live even without taking a payout or just a few. So, I mean, they're already set up the framework for if you show these things, even if you haven't taken a payout yet, they can move you up to live. A long history of payouts does not automatically qualify someone for live funding. Some traders have had large or frequent payouts, but have done so by churning through accounts, taking a payout, blowing the account, starting over again to gain a new drawdown. This rinse and repeat strategy may involve windfall or high risks that does not demonstrate long-term account management. That's why Apex may not move a trader live even if they've had a large payout. Basically, what I'm getting from this here is that they're not going to have a path for funding. And to be honest, I'm kind of okay with that because it makes sense what they're saying. Even if you take a look at like Top Step or you look at any of these other prop firms, but I'll use Top Step as an example. Top Step basically has a path to go live. You have to hit certain milestones, or even My Funded Futures, right? Those are two prop firms that have paths that are clear to go live. But when you think about it, this same rinse and repeat process could happen where, you do good for a few months, you get to the live account, and then as soon as you go live, you blow it, and then you're right back to, starting over again, getting a new eval account, passing the account, and then, the cycle continues. You trade well for a few months, they move you up to live, and then you blow the account again, right? And so I think with that, Apex is trying to stop that cycle from happening. I don't know how successful they're going to be at it. I don't know how there's no way to avoid it, right? It's going to happen, but it'll be interesting, over, I guess, the coming year or 2 years to see whether Apex can successfully do this. And if this model works, if other prop firms start to piggyback off of Apex, because they're doing things completely differently. I have people in my comments saying, I won't use Apex because they don't have a path to go live that's clear. But maybe a clear path might not be the best path. So, we'll just have to wait and see how this all plays out. Other traders may have gone through many accounts and had numerous payouts, but struggled, learned, and gradually improved. That's something every trader can relate. Growth takes time. From the firm's perspective, it's challenging to assess who is truly ready for live. And if you're going this way, then I agree. It's going to be hard because some people might, end up still in this cycle, even if they get moved to live. Has a trader improved and matured over time, or have they simply churned through accounts and benefited from lucky or risky setups? In real life trading, there is no reset button. You can't buy another evaluation to start fresh. It's real money. The key is whether a trader can manage, grow, and protect their account without relying on low cost resets and bulk purchases of discounted accounts. That shift in mindset is critical to readiness for live funding. And everything that's in this email is true. I can't really go against what they're saying. You can't reset, I mean, you can reset a live account, but you got to reset a live account with your own money and put all that money back in if you're going to reset it, right? It's not like a $40 reset or $50 reset like Apex does, and then you get your, $2,000 back. That's not how the real market works. And I think people who have never traded their own money in a live account, they sometimes either forget this or just don't understand that, this is how this actually works. So if you're going to trade in a live environment, they want traders who aren't going to be basically gamblers and try to hit home runs and not have a actual strategy that they can repeat day after day. Some traders will make the shift easily and transition to live accounts with more flexibility, no consistency rules, daily withdrawals, and the ability to scale up over time. Others may not be able to grow and maintain their accounts at all, which signals they're not ready for live funding backed by Apex Capital. Now, when I read this, I thought this was interesting, backed by the Apex Capital part, because when I think about a live account and how most platforms do and how thinking Apex does it based off of what we read earlier, is whatever you have in your account. Let's say you're due for, let's say, a 10K payout, right? You're due for a 10K payout, and they decided, hey, we want to take you live. Oops, that's really close to my head. So I'll move this up for a second. So ignore this. So let's say you are due for a 10K payout, right? And they say, okay, we want to take you live. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this 10K into a live account. Now, the way that I look at it personally is that that 10K was your money that they're paying out of their own pocket and moving into a live account. The prop firm was already at a negative 10K loss to begin with, right? Because you would have taken that money from them, especially if you could take out all the money like they're saying. So you opt to say, okay, I want to take this 10K and I want to move it into a live account. So you take this 10K, you move it to a live account, and then you start trading with them on the live account. Well, this really isn't Apex Capital anymore. It's really your capital at this point, right? Unless they're going to give you 50K because you're in a 50K account, and they're like a real actual prop firm, and they say, okay, we're gonna fund you 50K. Let's see what you can return, right? That's too big of a risk, in my opinion, and not something they would do. They would take the 10K, let you trade that, and then if you blow it, well, then you just basically lost your own money, and that's money they were already gonna take a hit for anyway, right? That's what most prop firms do. So that's what I assume Apex does or will be doing, but it'll be interesting to kind of see how all that works out. For those currently restricted from adding new evals, these are the kinds of factors being reviewed. So now you know what they're actually looking for. Some may be asked to provide additional information, like their trading system and marked up charts, to help demonstrate consistency and intent. And this will clarify whether the trade is running or whether the trader is running on rules-based system or simply cycling accounts for profit. I know a lot of people were mad, I think maybe like 6 to 8 months ago, for payouts they were asking for a trading system and marked up charts. But I mean, in all honesty, if you have a trading system, it's not really that hard to mark up your charts and show why you took this entry, why you got out, and showing your system. It shouldn't be that difficult. I think people were mad because they didn't have a system and they were getting lucky, right? So to clarify, some traders who received an email limiting new evaluation purchase have asked, what did I do wrong, or why am I banned? This is a misunderstanding. Receiving this notice does not mean you've done anything wrong. It means your payout, balance, and performance levels now require a review to be determined if it's time to transition out of SIM. As stated clearly in the notice, this does not affect your existing evals, PA accounts, or the ability to request payouts. You can still operate your current accounts and convert to a PA. You just cannot add more simulation accounts until the review is complete. This is not a ban, probation, or punishment. It's a signal that you may be ready for the next step. If it is determined that your approach is based solely on churning sim accounts, limitations on future accounts and payouts may be implemented. So they're kind of trying to kill two birds with one stone. They're trying to get people, they're trying to limit people who are, getting massive payouts but don't have a system. And at the same time, they are trying to find good traders that they can move into live accounts. So here are some questions. What if I blow my PA account before moving to live? Which was oh, that's not a question I had. What if I go live but blow that? Can I come back? This was the most important question for me personally. And how can I be considered to get more evals, which is also, I think, a very important question. All right, so these situations will be determined on a case by case basis. It's not Apex's intent to limit anyone's opportunity to become a live funded trader, demonstrate their skills in a simulated environment. However, there may be need to be a limit or a cap on ongoing payouts from simulated accounts, depending on the situation, past payouts, and balances. The primary motivation for obtaining more simulated accounts and PA accounts should be an opportunity to demonstrate skill, growth, and readiness for advancement to a live prop account, not to take advantage of a simulated environment for payout benefits. You can't argue there. I agreed. Therefore, on a case by case basis, Apex may allow a trader to restart and go through the process again. However, the number of new PA accounts may be limited. Once a PA account reaches its trailing threshold or a predetermined amount, those balances may be moved over to a live trading account, uh, with withdrawals available before starting balances in the live account. So kind of answers my question about, what is Apex is funds. It's really your funds moved over, so it makes sense. And then also they're saying that if you do blow the account, basically you can get new PA accounts, but it's going to be a limited amount, which means you probably get a limited amount of evals too. And then they're going to be much quicker to move you back to live once you've reached, a certain milestone, pretty much. I only have a handful of accounts. Why am I being considered already? These have been questions from traders who have only had a few accounts or even just one as to why they're being considered to move to live. And yeah, I got a comment about this too. Some have questioned why Apex is not waiting until they have multiple accounts or many payouts from simulations before making a move. In fact, these cases are typically clear and simpler to access. For example, a trader who may have only had a couple accounts, traded them for 3 months, brought a balance up to 15K, and been consistent is in a much stronger position for live trading. This trader would not have gone all in with contracts, avoiding major swings up and down, and demonstrated good risk management with steady growth and compounding. This is a significant difference compared to other situations where deeper analysis may be required. This example shows the ability and skill to manage an account, making them the ideal candidate for moving up to live prop trading. Even if this trader has only taken a couple of withdrawals or not requested any yet at all, they are likely building a buffer and showing long-term focus on their success. Such traders are perfect candidates for moving to a live account. Moving to a live account also provides significant benefits. In live accounts, there are no restrictions on certain rules. No consistency rules, so their 30% consistency rule goes away. No maximum limits on the first few withdrawals, and no waiting period. So the 8-day rule for requesting withdrawals goes away. So that's actually really, really good. If you haven't even taken a payout yet and they take you live, then you don't have to worry about pretty much the rules. Like, they're treating it like a live account, live environment, taking withdrawals whenever you want to, whenever they become available. So that's awesome. This provides traders with a flash pass through the steps and limitations, showcasing their readiness for a live account. So that's a big reward. In other words, some may see it as negative or punitive decision that a trader with lower payout histories or fewer accounts are being considered for live accounts. However, if you understand the situation and benefits, you realize that that's the exact opposite. Yeah, I agree. Additionally, in live trading accounts, traders will continuously uh, traders will be continuously evaluated for increased margin, contracts, and size according to performance. So also you can up your size because there's different sizes that you can't go above. But I mean, it makes sense if you have like, I mean, let's say you have a 100K account worth of profits, but you started in a 50K account. Well, you can't really scale as much as you could because you have way more drawdown. So them being able to up your size can only up your growth as well. So that's also awesome. And they will not be subject to purchasing fees or rules of the simulated account. The team is already reviewing potential accounts and reaching out to members. Some members have already been officially invited to live prop and received the paperwork. Okay. So that's cool. Would love to see those people. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know, they like shout them out or something, kind of like Top Step does. We don't have to know what payouts they're getting or whatever, but it would be nice to see people actually saying that they're going live from Apex. Others have been informed that they can stay in the sim program a little longer and refine their systems, while some have been asked for verification of their system, strategy, and risk management. Thank you for your patience as our team continues to work through the list of accounts and reviews. We hope this helps clarify some of the questions, misconceptions regarding the transition process out of the simulated environment and the limitation on adding additional simulated evaluation accounts during this process. Sincerely, Apex Trader Funding. All in all, I think this is a good thing. I really love the fact that Apex is being way more transparent. That was one of my huge knocks on Apex last year, was when they were making a lot of the changes that they were making, they weren't being transparent. They were just doing them, and then people had a problem, and they kind of just stayed silent. And eventually it kind of went away, but it just left a bad taste in a lot of traders' mouths. With this, they dropped an email, I believe, like, what was it, over the weekend about these, or maybe right before the weekend, about the accounts. And then they dropped another email, and then they dropped another email saying, hey, look, we're going to clarify even more because we see people freaking out. That's really, really good. That's really good communication. And that's what you need as a business. So I really like this for Apex. I like what they're doing. I like the fact that they're moving traders live. I do also like the fact that there's no path really to live that's set out. I know some people might not like that, but at the same time, it kind of gives them the flexibility to pick and choose which traders they like instead of kind of offering it to every trader that can potentially, get through the phase to go live. Maybe they might get lucky, they get a live account and then they end up blowing it anyway. So I think this is really good to be selective and picky. I really hope that we start seeing traders go live and announce it on Apex so that, we can actually see them going live. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. Like I said in the intro, I will be doing a giveaway very, very soon with trade day, giving away some accounts. So make sure you guys subscribe and hit the bell notification, because when I drop the trade day video, that is when the contest is going to be live. Apex is at $500 million in payouts, and they're running a 90% off special for this celebration that ends, I believe, the 1st of June. So make sure that if you guys want to trade with Apex, save 90%. There's a code down in the description that will save you 90% off, as well as a link that'll take you there. Also, if you want to learn more about Apex as a prop firm in general, make sure you check out this video right over here.